So June 6th just passed this last week, and I'd hope that you'd all recognize the significance of that date, for it was the 71st anniversary of D-Day. D-Day being the landing on the beaches of Normandy and turning the tides of World War II in our favor. Now, the reason why it's so significant is because we are here because of the great sacrifice by the soldiers and the veterans who participated in that specific conflict. Now, throughout the entire war, there was a massive amount of deaths from both soldiers and civilians. I recently just watched a video that portrayed the sheer volume of deaths throughout the World War II conflict that actually measured up to 70 million approximately. 70 million deaths in a single war conflict that spanned 6 years. Now, if we look back through history, and I'm going to put a little visualization of the video that I watched in the bottom corner or on the right side of the screen here, so you guys can see where I'm getting these numbers, as well as I'll put a link in the description below as to where you can find this video, which I highly recommend watching. It really opened my eyes and showed me the sheer volume of fatalities, casualties, and sacrifice that went through during World War II in order for us to actually be living in what is called the new or long peace era that we are living in right now. Because the video posits the peace that we're living in, and you know, peace might be a strong word, but there has yet to be a conflict between the top 44 richest countries, and that hasn't happened since the Roman era. The fact that there's been no warring between the 44 richest countries, and that's unprecedented throughout history. I mean, there have been conflicts between nations such as the United States and smaller countries like Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, but there have been no conflicts between the top 44 countries. And this era right now that we're in is called the New or Long Peace. So actually consider the fact that a peace amongst the earth in its entirety has not been seen like this throughout history. Now, how do you actually measure peace? The video goes by saying, well, you would have to count the amount of deaths that didn't occur in the wars that never happened, and how do you even measure that? Because, you know, it's hard to know that you're in peace because it's hard to measure it. Now, what really opens my eyes in this video, and a lot of statistics that I learned throughout watching it, was that 8.7 million Soviets died trying to defeat Germany, and they did defeat Germany by killing 2.3 million of them. Now, that is a really hard number to take in, because you have to sacrifice 8.7 million people to defeat the Germans, which only lost 2.7 million. Now, the initial blitzkrieg of Poland, which took down so many different people, so many civilians, so many soldiers. Germany actually didn't even suffer very many losses, which I think gave them an early confidence, until the powers of Britain and the United States came together and took the war to Germany. Did the tide start turning? And that is where we have D-Day and the significance of it, and how so many deaths occurred on that single day. 2,500 of American deaths alone. So I like to recognize World War II and its significance whenever I can, especially on days like Remembrance Day. They are really the significant days to me that I recognize throughout the year. There are other, you know, Thanksgiving, you know, Christmas, these types of holidays that I recognize, but to me the most significant is Remembrance Day and the sacrifice of the veterans in World War II and otherwise, that really touches my heart. And my grandmother died a couple years ago, and it didn't really hit me during the funeral until the veteran was wheeled in his wheelchair and stood up and saluted her for her effort in the war, which was here at home. It wasn't abroad, but still, it was just as respected. And that really teared me up and really made me see the significance of that generation, which is known as one of the greatest generations to ever live, the generation that fought in World War II. My grandfather fought in World War II. He was a pilot that dropped care packages over occupied Holland. My other grandfather was an engineer that built bridges for the soldiers to, reach inaccessible areas. And I can't give enough thank you to all the veterans that exist in the world today and in the past that have sacrificed so much to keep us here in such a free state that we live in today. So recognize the piece that we have, the long piece as it's called, and hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. View that video below for all the numbers and to see the sheer volume of sacrifice. Peace out.